Hello world! Let's go to CSSBattle.dev and do the daily target here as we end this weekend. Oh, and it's a killer shape, isn't it? All right, so how do we make this shape? That's the question I find myself asking. Let's go nested template, and we're going to start with that. And then do, I think it's 2 gradients. So the first is a radial gradient. Well, let's get specific. We're gonna put that color on it and then narrow this down. Wow, skipping the steps. 55. Okay, and then okay. And then, okay, so now here's what I want to do. I want a radial gradient, which is 1Q, and I believe this is a perfect square, the body. So I won't need to, this probably. 40 pixels, and then the red, 0, 70 pixels. I don't know, those are probably not the right numbers, and 0. And I have an extra comma, making everything not work. So see that comma? Very hard to spot. If you're typing fast, you might miss it. CSS is brittle in that you can't necessarily see what that error is. And dev tools don't really do a tremendous job. But there it is. And as you can see, it looks a little more like an oval than a perfect circle, which means, given that the top looks like looks like the top circle looks like a perfect circle, I do think I do need to give it a keyword that's going to make it a perfect circle. So let's find that out. All right, and it looks like I need an at 50%, 100 pixels, 100 pixels. Oh, that looks right. That looks right. Okay, but we're too small. How about 70 is the inner, and then 100? Okay. So what's next? I guess in theory I could do a border bottom, border end. But I feel very inclined to do a conic gradient that repeats on the y-axis. No, repeats on the x-axis, and then is at 0, and then down. Well, it's probably down 100 pixels. So let's see what that is. I think we need red 25%, and then this color 0, and then we need an at value. So now I'm going to set a no repeat. Great. And I'm going to set an at value of at, probably that's 30 pixels. Okay, and then probably that's 60 pixels? No, how about 90 pixels? No, how about 80? No, how about 100 pixels? There it is. And then we set a width. 170, and then we let it repeat, but only on the x-axis, and that I think is what does it. Yeah, that should do it. Let's find out if those curves are a problem. If we don't get to 100%, we'll know that the curve is a problem, and we'll have to redo things in a different way. No, we got 100%. Do we want to try some Q values to shrink this down? Hey, maybe so. Maybe today we will. We could do a percent value too. There's 32Q. How about a percent? What's that? 2. 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, not too much. A 16, 17, 18. Nah. Let's go back to the Q value. A percent would be nice and shave a bunch of characters off, but I think not. Okay, so we'll change this to Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And how about this as a Q value? Is that 106? Sure. And then how about this as a Q value as well? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 80. All right. And then how about these as Q values? 100Q. Oh. 100, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 100Q. And how about this one? Q. Is that 106? Sure. And then how about this one? 70Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. All right, let's see. Let's see if that does a nice job. Or if one of these numbers is not good. That's 100% match. So, all right, you know, for those of you who are unhappy with the relative tuning of my solutions, like you're not shaving enough characters off. This is an example of the kind of thing that I can do. So that's kind of fun. That's it. I think that's it. And again, that reminder that the nested template is part of the GitHub plugins that are linked in this video, and feel free to play with them. And then the warning that Firefox doesn't quite let this work in the way that you would hope, but Safari does a fine job, which is what I use. You can use Chrome. Remember, the backend is Chromium. That's what CSSBattle.dev actually tests against, and so Chrome is probably what you're going to have the best experiences. I like Safari because I like Safari. I use Safari, and I believe that these solutions are best when you can apply the lessons of them to your work on the web, to making web pages. That's why I say go make a web page, because hey, make a web page with fun stuff that works in the browsers, because people have browsers. It's really cool. Not everybody has Chrome. That's just the best facts of life. And so I like to make stuff that works across all the browsers. I know it's code golf. It's not the same thing. That's okay. All right, get out of here. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.